No.
Just let me know. I'm all ears, always. Good morning, Mr. Garrett. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That allegation kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 25th, 2025, the officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas for a disturbance with an unknown weapon at approximately 5:49 p.m. And upon arrival, the officers met with the complainant, who stated she is the mother of the defendant and they live together. The complainant stated that day her healthcare provider came to her residence to help her as she is disabled. And the complainant stated the defendant was in his room playing loud music, and the complainant asked the defendant to turn it down while her provider was there. The defendant did turn it down, and as soon as her provider left, he turned the music back up. The complainant requested the defendant turn the music down again, and a verbal altercation ensued over the music and money, and the defendant started to rip up family photos. The complainant tried to stop the defendant, but the defendant grabbed the complainant by her arms and pinned her against the wall. The complainant stated she did not feel pain, but that the defendant said to the complainant that if she continued to touch him, that the defendant would break the complainant's jaw. The defendant was on the scene and refused to speak to officers.
Okay. Mr. Garrett, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Do we know what mom wants?
See if a rip was attempted, Your Honor, and unsuccessful.
We have a call scheduled later this afternoon. She won't be available until afternoon.
This is a problem. I normally order in these types of cases that you're not to go back to his place. So if you don't have anywhere else to go to, what happens? You have to be careful in these situations, Mr. Garrett. So let's do this. How old are you, sir? I'm going to give you a lawyer today. I want you to talk to the lawyer so we can figure something out. I don't want to put you out on the street, but I got to protect every person here. You understand? So I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using anything, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand? You're not to be in possession of weapons as well. And you're not to have any threatening or harassing contact with mom. If I find that you do, likewise. You got out of jail because we gave you a free bond. What happens if we put it at 5 to 10,000? If you don't have anyone to bond you out, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing's over with. And it takes a long time just to get a 911 tape. You understand? So I'm going to have you sign a reset. Let me have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm going to find your lawyer and then we'll go to it. Come on.
Garrett?
Garrett.
Yes, sir.
Terroristic threat
Right.
against allegedly mom.
Okay.
Could have been an assault. Not.
My aunt had, she'd be my uncle.
No, but according to what I was reading here, he's lucky that it's not filed as an assault. And the thing is that do we let him go home? What's going to happen if not? Because come up, Mr. Garrett. When I have these types of cases, normally I don't let the people go back. Because or do you want to talk first and then you come?
Judge, can we step down?
Oh, yeah. So the first thing I told Mr. Garrett is that he's not to use any illegal substances and that you're going to get tested. I want you to know now that I will test you 40 days to 45 days from today. If I find that you're using anything illegal, including THC, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I have these types of cases, I typically prevent the person here to have any contact with or to go back to the house where the complaining witness lives. Does he currently live there now?
He does, Judge.
It's going to be a problem. So how, because what the last thing I want, Mr. Garrett, are more words to exchange and you end up with another case because there's now bad blood between you two. That's the last thing I want. So how do we prevent that from happening, Amy? What do we do?
Judge, I request that the court order no harmful injurious contact with the CW. Based on my reading of the case, it doesn't appear that a no contact order is required or warranted at this point, Judge.
What I read it could have been an assault that you could have been charged with in addition to this case here. What do you think? Say,
Our state would request, I mean, we've got a call scheduled with the complainant at noon. State would request some sort of cooling off periods. There would be no contact order. Very dangerous cases. We usually have very cooling off periods since these are fresh charges.
do we put him on the street though? Because essentially that's what's going to happen. He's 22, right?
Yes, sir.
We can also, I mean, hold off till it's just at noon.
Yeah.
If they would be okay with the court, I know it's be later in the day till noon.
Judge, she's at the hospital. I don't know if she let y'all know that that's where she was.
No, she-
She's at the hospital right now, so that's,
Why?
I didn't ask her.
How do you know that she's in the hospital?
You know,
Figure out, I guess.
let's reapproach
So
this afternoon.
are you done? Do you have anything else to do?
The reason I came back.
So for now, let's do this. I'm going to allow him to go back. You guys get a hold of her. If for some reason she says that she doesn't want him back, let me know. I'll get in contact with him and then I'm going to modify the order so that he can't go back to the house. I'm going to assume because of the relationship, right? And I don't want to put him on the street, but if she doesn't want him back, then obviously I want to follow the complaining witness's wishes. That's what I always want to do. I don't know if she wants you back. If she does, okay. If she doesn't, but be that as it may, self-control. Because I find that you are mistreating this person, threatening, abusive in any way. And I'm going to tell you now that conduct in and of itself can violate this court order. If I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is, and it'll land your ass in jail. You think it's funny.
No,
Just wait till you get behind and you'll see. I'm trying to tell you that exercise self-control because I will protect every person. And if I find that you become an issue to her, it's not going to go well for you. I will test you 40 days from today. If you test positive for dope, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would like to, the defendant has been smirking some time.
I know.
The state's concerned that he's not taking this seriously. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just-
I get it. I get it. Well, he's on notice of what he can and can't do. And the problem is that there are a lot of people on a very fixed income. And I'm going to tell you now that the complaining witness in this case, she's on a fixed income. So you go to jail with a $5,000 to $10,000 bond. Just please admonish him accordingly. April. Okay. So don't worry about filing conditions because it'll be with Felicia. Okay. Oh, no, Felicia,
Yes.
no weapons as well.